another exciting episode of the BRR Show, where we discuss issues from lenses that are different from what you would regularly find around. My name is Oluwatobi Sola-Abiola, and I'm your host. First, on today's episode, I'd like to say a very big thank you to all our viewers, our subscribers, our fans all over. The messages have been overwhelming, they've been encouraging, and yes, we see them, and we want to say thank you for reaching out to us. Due to popular demand, we've had many people reach out to us to say, when is Tayo Olusola coming back? And I'm glad to announce to you and to let you know that he's in the studio with us today. So this is a good place to say drum rolls, right? So in the studio today, we have Tayo Olusola. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for being here with us. How are you today?
I'm cool. I'm so glad to be back in the house. Honestly, I'm so glad.
Thank you so much. The comments have been really amazing. And so very quickly today, we turn the spotlight on ourselves for a second. And our topic is, what must I do before I get married? When people desire to get into marriage, we realize that most times they turn the attention of what the other person is bringing into the marriage without focusing on themselves. But today we'll take a moment to turn the lens to the individual in question. And so, Tayo Olusola, what are the things to look out for when I want to get married?
Thank you, Oluwati. It's so interesting that people focus their expectation about the other party than actually to look at themselves and ask themselves the question, am I really ready to enter into this relationship? When we talk about getting ready to enter in a relationship, you need to ask yourself the question, do I know myself? What do I know about myself? Am I aware of myself? Am I aware of who I am? Do I know my strength? Do I know my weaknesses? Do I even understand what I want in marriage? Can I state why I want it? And how do I get it? So many questions you need to ask yourself, because it's all about yourself. If you don't do this, you will fall for anything. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. You need to know your values. Value simply talks about things that are important to you in life. Things that determines what is wrong, what is morally wrong, and what is morally right. I would rather say it's not about what I should really do. I think we should focus on who should I be before I actually get into a relationship. So I will handle the two together. There's somebody you need to be. So it's all about preparing yourself to enter into a relationship. And in doing that, for you to be able to be that person, you need to ask this question. Who am I? Am I aware of myself? Do I know my strength? Do I know my weaknesses? Do I have an understanding of what is important to me, talking about my values? Because it is this value that I'm going to use in checking whether the other party's value aligns with mine. So I have to know what exactly are important to me in life. Basically, I'm saying that I should know what I want, why I want it, and how I will get it, whichever way when I get into this relationship. So it talks about a lot of preparation that needs to be from my side, because that's what I'm going to use in actually determining whether the person that is coming my way is actually the right person for me. People ask, how do I know the right person? So we are talking about how you know the right person. So basically, it should be about you. Asking a lot of questions. When you have become wholesome, when you are sure that now you are ready, talking about being matured physically, matured spiritually, matured emotionally, matured economically. So you are saying that now I am ready. Then whoever come around can't be any wishy-washy person. You are ready to actually take your sword. Few. It's not the one. Few. She's not the one, because you already know. Not that you are just going to take anything that is being dropped on your table. You understand?
Okay, so stemming from your last statement, I know that in the olden days or generations before us, there were things like arranged marriages where it is that the man may not even have met this woman, But they would have gotten married, and we realize that those marriages last long, and they wouldn't have even interacted with themselves, not to talk of knowing their strengths and their weaknesses. Would you say that those are not the way to go regarding marriage, or it was a fluke?
I hear this question over and over again, or is it a question I hear this statement over again, that why is it that the marriages of old are better or they work well? And I'm asking the question, what are the yardsticks that we use in judging? Have you ever asked any one of them? I asked someone, I said, have you ever asked your mom whether she enjoyed a marriage with your dad? Or because she didn't mention anything and they were cool, they were just doing the things they know how to do, you feel they were really happy in the marriage. So if they were introduced to each other along the line, they must have discovered a lot of things about each other. Don't you think that people who prepared are better off than people who do not prepare at all? So we are saying that even though we are still introducing people to each other today, you meet on social media, a friend introduces you to one another. We are saying that irrespective of whosoever introduced you to each other, do your due diligence. So the due diligence is you checking to see that what you are going for is actually what you want. And for goodness sake, even in the church on the wedding day, they ask you to remove the veil and ask you, is it the one what you ordered for? That simply means that you must be sure that what you want is what you are getting. And the way to do it is for you to be prepared to know what exactly you want in marriage, so that when you see it, you recognize it. It won't be difficult when somebody proposes to you, or when somebody says he or she is interested in you, he or she. I'm simply trying to say that a woman can also be interested in a man. You understand? So you will know whether the person actually fits into you, because the bone must fit into the bone.
Okay, so this statement regarding a woman can be interested in a man, yes, I hear you, and that's valid. So do you recommend, for instance, that a woman should go after the man?
Well, going after the man is subjective. What do you mean by that? I can visit you.
No, not that type. That's not like asking a guy out.
Well,
asking a guy to be in a relationship with the woman.
I can't say yes and I can't say no.
Okay.
You understand? But I know it does happen.
Yes.
And if it happens, for me, there's nothing bad in it. If I ask you out, you understand? If I actually ask you out, do you know that I may actually be waiting and thinking, how do I put it across to? See, for every lady that sum up the courage to actually ask a man out, they are aware that the man is interesting, that he's dragging his foot, he doesn't know how to do it. That's why they say. I tell ladies, I say, see, when you notice a dangling around you, but nothing is forthcoming, don't allow somebody to cover your shadow and cover your glory. Because people around may think that he's interested, and yet he's not speaking. And they are pulling back because they feel he's there. So the way to actually approach a man to make him to sit up is to say, boy,
what are you doing?
What's on your mind? Like my wife asked me the question, what's on your mind? I said, what's on my mind? I said, have you prayed? He said, what exactly do you want? That was what the way he put it to me. And I said, well, can you just go and pray about us coming together as husband and wife? He said she tried to pray, but the Holy Spirit said, what are you praying about? Have you not been waiting for him to come? And now that he has come, what are you thinking about? What do you want to pray about again? So when I asked her, when have you been waiting? She said she's been waiting for a year.
What?
Can you imagine?
What?
She waited a whole year that what you have to speak, what you have to say, you will say one day. So I finally came.
So she was the one that made you speak?
Actually, yeah. And do you know that immediately I proposed? The next week, somebody else came and proposed. A friend of mine. And she had to tell that one that, oh, when you are late. He said, but you know, he said, but you didn't say anything.
But she would have had the other person too to be speaking.
But she's interested in somebody too. So sometimes, see, this issue about marriage, even though it's a man that finds, well, you see, you're not going to marry a stranger. You have yourself in the circle of your friends. And because you are inspiring, you are impactful, some people will desire you. There's nothing bad in desiring somebody. So a lady can desire. You know, out of your friends, you know the person you can spend the rest of your life with. So you'll be waiting for the person to show up, to actually speak. And if the person is not speaking, and you know is making a lot of moves, you can imagine me going to Ibadan every year, taking birthday cake. If I don't have interest, will I be doing that? I was nurturing something. Unfortunately, I didn't involve God. So the day I was supposed to declare my intention, God said, boy, I didn't send you here in the first instance.
Wow.
Go back to Lagos. I cried like a baby. So a lot of men will be in my shoes like that, nurturing, but they are not voicing out. And the lady is waiting. She's aware that you have interest, but you have not said anything. She needs to help you sometimes.
This goes against our own mentality in the world today, where it is that, a lot of people would say to ladies that no, he's the one that must do the finding, he's the one that must speak. So when you say it's okay for a lady, now it's sounding like ladies, oh yeah, go out there and get your man.
Do you know why it's like that? It's because of our belief system in this area. And that will lead me to how culture is being created. Value plus belief system create culture. So we have different cultures all over the world. Do you know there are cultures where it is the women that propose to a man? And it is the woman that marries a man.
Yes.
You understand? So what are you talking about? So culture do change when values and belief system changes. So I think belief system is changing these days. And that's why we are seeing women, girls standing up and saying, oh, I have the feeling that you are interested. I like you too. Can we actually start a relationship?
Hey.
And there's nothing bad in it. I've seen so many that happened. And they're doing pretty well.
Wow. So what are the yardsticks? What are some of the things to look out for before deciding to say, I want to get married?
The first question, if you're a lady that you need to ask a man, is that, where are you going? You must sort out that question. Where are you going? You must know whether the person is going your direction. It is very important. The man must also ask the woman, where are you going? Talking about your vision, your purpose. Because that's going to lead you to how to form your statement of purpose in marriage. Where are you going? I can't just follow you if you're not going my direction. It won't work. So you must know it's not where are you walking. It's not do you have a house. It's not do you have a car. Where are you going? I had nothing when I proposed to my wife.
Not in this day and age. You must have something.
See,
because these are the things that sometimes when people discuss, it sounds like it is being materialistic.
Maybe I'm wrong to have said that. I was wrong to have said that I had nothing. I may not have tangible things, but I actually had something that she saw and she was ready to wait for.
I'm not sure quite a number of ladies are ready to wait for that something that is not tangible now. But we need to go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with this conversation. Please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. We still have in the studio Oluwatobi Sola with us. You made a statement before we went on a break, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. And the statement borders around you saying that a woman can make her intentions known to a guy. I'm still yet to understand because, honestly, I don't think he's the ideal thing.
Oluwati, I think you need to understand that I agree with you. Belief systems are very strong. And for people to have a mind shift of what have been the norms can be very difficult.
Absolutely.
You will agree with me the dynamics of marriage is changing, even though the principles still remain the same. I agree that it's a man that is meant to find. It's a man that is meant to find.
With scriptural backing.
Yes. But what you need to understand is the fact that we have men today that have intention. No, that have attention and also have intention, but they are not making their intention known. You understand? So if you sense that as a lady, you can bring discussion along that line and help the man to be able to voice out. Okay, you've been around me for 3 years and you've been taking my time. For goodness sake, there are other men that are actually interested in me, but I am also interested in you, and I know you are interested in me. So I will ask you, what's on your mind? What's all this dancing around me all about? Yes.
Okay, so for that's okay. When
That's
somebody
okay.
is saying, what are you doing around?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
She's saying,
oh, but she has laid him on. I'm going to say, I want to marry you. I won't do that. But you need to ask questions that will make it to come out of his shell if it's actually finding it difficult to speak.
But if in the relationship, or even before the relationship starts, he's finding it hard to make his intentions known, what would happen in the marriage when it is that one of the things that a man should be is courageous, is bold, is to take authority and be the man?
What is courage?
When we've seen a sample before marriage that this man is not going to be speaking out, you then be complaining in marriage that this guy is very reserved, though it doesn't say his mind. So how then do we balance it when it is that Nami even ask you, say, do you like me?
Oluwati, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is simply taking action in the face of fear. You understand? The definition of a man is not courage. That's why we are killing the men. Who told you a man must be courageous? Where is it written that a man must be courageous? People must be courageous, whether you are a man or you are a woman. The mandate is given to both the man and the woman. The blessing was put on both the man and the woman. We are both heirs of the kingdom. There's virtually nothing that God has not given to man that he has given to woman. He gave us based on the assignment he has given to us. He put his spirit on every one of us. So don't make man feel like macho. And that's the reason why men find it difficult to cry. Because they believe that crying is a sense of weakness. And I've told you several times, Oluwati, personally, that I've cried so much in my marriage because it's therapeutic for me. I'm just myself. I can't pretend. So when I'm talking about the fact that sometimes you need to help the man that is dancing around you to quickly bring his intention to the front burner, it's because there are some men that they are not as expressive as you are as a lady. You understand? We have personalities.
Absolutely.
We are talking about a melancholy. Will a melancholy be expressive? He's a thinker. He lives in himself. You understand? He's still thinking, he's still looking, he's still imagining it. But you know that he has, oh boy, what do you think about? What you have to do quick. So you have let him on and he said, and he smiled. What's on your mind? You know, I've been thinking about it really. I've just been wondering that what? I really like you. What do you mean that you really like me? Is it only like? Because I don't want to hear that I don't love you, I only like you. Oh, no, I really love you.
So you sound like you've been in this conversation.
So, what are you trying to say? If you really love me, are you saying you are game? Can we now start a focused relationship? That's exactly what I mean. Then you start. You have really helped him because you see, we are all helpers of destinies. You can help his destiny out. And you know, when you now start, it is there you can now begin to check. Focus relationship does not mean that you are married. It's now time for you to be deliberate. That fear that you feel, with this man that is not able to declare his intention, will he not be a laid back in marriage? It is then you now begin to deliberately work on that. You will suddenly realize that, it's just that fear of, Oluwati, there's no man that proposed that was never afraid. The day I proposed to my wife, I went back home, I said, who sent me? Nobody ever get married without butterfly in his tummy. Because to actually open mouth is a commitment that you have to life. That, hey, I can't go and propose to another person. Immediately I say, I want to marry you. And you know there are so many ladies around you. So you see, it takes really courage. And that's the reason why I'm saying that if you are interested in the man and you know that you have been dancing around the same serene, you can help him out to declare his intention. And as soon as that is done, you now begin your focused relationship and begin to nurture and ask questions and begin to do due diligence that actually will culminate in the real relationship. I think that's a good thing, a good way to go.
And so, You have successfully won me over to your side.
Definitely. That's what knowledge does.
Love it. I absolutely love it. That makes us also realize that courage is not peculiar to a gender.
Yeah.
It is we're all required to be courageous.
We all have to. At one point in time, we need courage to move on. Where there's no courage, there's giving up. And when you give up, you cannot get anything that you desire. You need to be courageous. Take a step. And immediately you take a step, courage begins to build. Courage does not just come on you. It is actually when you take that action in the face of fear. When you say, he's a courageous man, before you call him a courageous man, because he took action, you didn't know how much fear he has, until or taken before he finally decides, sum up courage to take that particular step. So we all need to do that. And back to what we're discussing, I think we need a lot of preparation, because that preparation shows up in the marriage at the end of the day. The man needs to prepare, the woman needs to prepare. You understand? We are coming to marriage to give. We are not coming to marriage to take. So do you have what it takes? Can you give what marriage requires? Marriage will place so much demands on you.
Yes.
Marriage. I tell people, I said, marriage expose your flaws. Things you never knew was in your life, marriage will open it up. You think you're a gentle and kind man, go and marry. You think you're a very submissive woman, go and marry. Because those characters will be tested. So when you have said yes to each other and you are nurturing each other, it's a time to build those solid character. You understand? So that you will know that you are prepared for marriage. Marriage places demand on us, so it requires a lot of preparation. And I encourage the young men and young women of today, instead of eating from one eatery to the other, watching film from one female to the other, they should take time to sit down and ask vital questions that elicits unpreparedness or preparedness. So that when you know that, in this area, with this question, I'm not prepared, then you can begin to work at it. Don't wait till you get into marriage before you start working on things you're supposed to work on. Somebody said that when you are trying to get ready, when you're supposed to have been ready, you're already too late.
Wow. I'm very, very excited that you spoke about the question of who I am, which is a question of identity.
Exactly.
And so we realize that life is evolving and people evolve over time. Yeah. So when you've known yourself and your weaknesses, your strengths before marriage, and you now get into marriage, you now realize that you have some strengths that are even not what you've seen as a single person. How does that get to be? Does it just come as a result of, I'm now married? Or life just exposes those other traits in you?
Oluwati, I love the word you use, evolve. Human beings evolve. That's why your personality is not static. There are personalities that you take up as a result of responsibility. Whether you like it or not, marriage will confer some personality on you. Because you see, there's a change that you need to experience in order to accommodate the changes that marriage brings into your life. So in order to man up to that changes that marriage is bringing to your life, you don't have a choice than for some personality. They say step into womanhood, step into motherhood or husbandhood. It's about, you see, I tell people, I say, leadership sometimes, when they put you some role, you will live up to the role.
Absolutely.
You don't have a choice, because you don't have a choice now. It's either you fall or you win. So I tell people, no retreat, no surrender. The brick behind you is burnt. You must look to the front. So in marriage, we evolve. And that's why I say everything grows in marriage. Your strength will grow in marriage.
Wow.
If you are very teachable, and for us in the faith, Christian faith, if you walk with the Holy Spirit, you will learn and you will grow. Because your character development is a function of your work with the Holy Spirit. As it works in your life, you grow. And when you grow, you mature. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 11 says, when I was a child, I think like a child. I speak like a child. I behave like a child. When I grow up, I do away with childish things. There's a way you grow in marriage that your value also evolve, your character evolve, the way you do things evolve. You understand? So even though you have done all the preparation, when you get into the marriage, that's the practical. All those ones are theory.
Yes.
You'll be tested. It is then we will know that whether you are prepared or you are not prepared. But the truth is that We all evolve. So don't write somebody off because of what you see that is not adequate. We cannot be perfect. You understand?
Okay.
We are not all perfect. We all have our flaws. But when we get into marriage, there's a way that what you have in surplus that I'm lacking, you'll be able to complement. We don't compete in marriage. We complement each other. I complement your weakness. You complement with my strength. You complement my weakness with your strength. Oh, we must think about the critical aspect, the value. When we're able to align those values, it is then we say Amos 3:3. We can agree. We can work together because we agree on our values.
Wow. As we begin to wind down this conversation, can you highlight 5 things that are important for us to take cognizance of when we want to get married? Just 5.
Number 1, vision. Where's the person going? Number 2, value. What is important to that person and what is important to you? Number 3, character development. It's not about the charisma. It's not about the grace that you see. It's not about the wealth. Your wealth can take you to a place where your character cannot sustain you.
Okay.
Character is what leads to behavior in marriage. And behavior is what you will see throughout. Your behavior should create your attitude. You will see it throughout. So character development is key. Number 4, hardworking. Is he a very hardworking person? Is she a very hardworking person? Marriage does not tolerate laziness.
Okay.
I'm telling you, marriage does not. You must come into marriage ready to work. There's laboring in marriage. The Bible says 2 are better than 1, for they shall have good reward for their labor. Marriage is laboring. And number 5, you must be secured in your self-esteem.
Okay, this one.
Because your husband cannot create happiness for you. You cannot create happiness for your husband. You understand? What your husband or what your wife do or didn't do should not affect who you are. You must be secure in who you are. I'm telling you.
I'm tempted to say that off your mic.
If you won't get those things, your husband or your wife will be pressing your button like this and repeating you to flight or to fight.
Exactly.
So you will be more remotely controlling you remotely.
True.
So when you are able to, when you have a secure self-esteem,
oh my God,
as a result of your self-worth that you have understood, which backs your confidence. So you walk in your marriage with your head square high, that you are here to give, and that I'm not expecting anything from you that will determine the rate at which I will give. I am inside this marriage because I choose to be here and I'm here to give. If the 2 of them do that, don't you think the marriage will be good?
Oh my God, is this possible?
It is possible. And that's why I'm saying that know what you want, know why you want it, and know how you get it.
Know what you want, know why you want it, and
know how you get it.
Wow. It's been an awesome time on the show today. Thank you so much, Oluwatobi Sola. Every episode with you is a masterclass. You would agree with me, right?
I'm always glad to be here.
And so this is a good time to say bye for now. Till we come your way again, stay blessed and stay lifted.